Mother, tell your children not to walk my way.
Well, you know what? This is a question to PSPowers. If I am an apologist to the WWE, then what in God's name are Bill and Doug? I'm being serious. You know, I did my little video today about the Ring of Honor sale that they're having, and then I was going to do another video tonight, and but I was going to watch Impact first. Yes, I was going to watch Impact. I was going to scrunch through Impact and watch it so that I could give my opinions on it, and so I did. And then when I came on and was ready to do my video, well, YouTube was updating something, I don't know, but did not allow me to I knew that would meant my video wasn't going to be uploaded. So called a friend, went to Molly's Pub, which is a local pub, and went and did my thing, and had a few beers, and came back home, and then I watched Bill and Doug's Hard Justice review, which I was like, well, that's utter crap, and I guess they're still, you know, have the nice little rose-colored TNA sunglasses on, and watched it, and but then read through the comments and said, hey, look, other people are calling them on this BS. I don't need to comment on this, and I was glad because I didn't really want to. Felt like my Hard Justice review was more than enough to counter what they said. So got done with that, watched a few other videos, then noticed that another video had been uploaded up there. So I clicked on that, and when I clicked on that, I watched it, and it was them talking about various things. Matt Bentley being one of them, which I won't really talk about because basically they did what we all knew they would do, is rip Matt Bentley, then bring up a bunch of backstage things. These are the same guys that tell us we continually should not talk about backstage stuff because we don't know about backstage stuff yet. They spent an entire video burying Matt Bentley talking about Matt's backstage things, you know, which I'm wondering, did you guys just memorize the TNA talking points? I'm just curious, did they email them to you, or did they just mail them to you, or did they actually call you up and say, hey, we need you guys to do a video about Matt Bentley, and these are what you need to talk about because this is the reasons why we fired Matt Bentley, and we think these reasons sound good, maybe people will believe us, and you know, because we're taking a lot of heat off this Matt Bentley thing because he ripped us a new one. So anyways, and I don't need to talk about that because people are ripping them enough about that, and I think people see through that crap and that bullshit. But then they talked about the fact that, you know, they support TNA because WWE style has changed. The WWE style has not changed. I don't know where people get this freaking mentality that WWE style has changed. WWE did not take on the ECW style of wrestling. They didn't. They never did. Why didn't they do that? Because they toured almost every day of the year, and there's no way for them to take on that style of wrestling. Don't believe me? Hey, next time, Bill and Doug, you're at a ECW or a TNA event, find Shane Douglas and ask Shane Douglas about an interview he did back in the glory days of ECW, in which he explained that he continually told the guys in the back that there's no way we'd be able to pull off the stuff that we're pulling off if we ran the same schedule as WWE did, because our bodies would not accept it. And they ran one time. They ran 4 shows in a week, and the guys thought they were going to die. And that's why the WWE has never done the same types of things that Ring of Honor does, that TNA does, that, and to some degrees WCW did with the cruiserweights, because bodies cannot withstand that going through the touring schedule that they have. Now, I have come on here and I've said that I think if they would cut down on the touring schedule, the match quality would go up, and it would go up tremendously. They could actually allow the guys to go out there and do what they can do. So there you go. So for you guys to sit there and say, well, their style's changed. Their style has not changed. The only thing that has changed is the guys that are, you know, that are in the main event. Guys aren't doing anything different than they haven't done before. They've, you know, to be completely honest, there really isn't that much difference. I don't know where people get this from, but I wish people would explain it to me because there's not that much difference. WWE style it's varied a bit over the years, but it's still pretty much the exact same styles. Punch, kick, punch, kick, punch, kick, clothesline. That's the WWE style. That's what it's always been. It's what it always will be. You know. But hey, what you gonna do? But then they talked about Samoa Joe, and they talked about Kurt Angle, and they talked about the fact that, well, Kurt Angle's a bigger star and a bigger draw than Samoa Joe, so that's why Kurt Angle's getting this mega push. Got a problem with that. Here's the problem. Since Angle has come in, have the ratings gone up? Nope. Eye rate's gone up? Nope. house shows improved any? Not really. In fact, Joe, if you look at guys why they've been in TNA, you know who the biggest draw is in TNA? It's Samoa Joe. Who brings in the most money for TNA? It's Samoa Joe. This has been documented. When are you guys going to get that through your head? When is TNA going to get it through their head? That's your guy. That's the guy that should be the face of your company. That's your biggest draw. That is your John Cena in a lot of ways. And yet, unlike the WWE who said, wow, this is the guy that's drawing, this is the guy that's selling, let's put the title on him, TNA goes, well, we're going to put the title on this guy because this guy's a bigger name. Sorry, not buying it. Doesn't work. Like I said, Angle hasn't improved the ratings. Angle hasn't improved buy rates. Christian didn't improve the ratings. Christian didn't improve the buy rates. Christian did not choose WWE or TNA over WWE. Christian's wife chose TNA over WWE because she did not want him on the road as much as he had been on the road. That's what happened. Okay, Angle did not choose WWE or TNA over WWE because, well, WWE kicked him out the door and said, you won't go to rehab, we don't want anything to do with you because we don't want you dying while you're on our clock. That's what happened. That's what was reported. Everybody knows that story. People were pissed, or do you not remember people being pissed off that they brought in Kurt Angle? I remember it. I was pissed off about it. Still kind of am pissed off about it, to be completely honest. But yeah, so that doesn't float. Joe should have been given the title at last year's Bound for Glory. There's no doubt about it. And the fact that now they've waited so long that when Joe gets the title, that magic, that aura, that him winning the title isn't going to mean anything because people are going to be like, yay, he finally won the title. He'll probably lose it in a couple of months or the next pay-per-view, so it really doesn't matter. That's what people's mindset's going to be. If he had won it at last year's Bound for Glory from, let's say, Monty Brown, who should have had the title at that point, which you guys don't even want to bring up. In fact, they're making the exact same mistake they made with Monty Brown with Joe. If he'd won it then, and then you teased an Angle Joe match up until this year's Bound for Glory, like PSPower said in his video about, actually doing year-long booking, wow, imagine what you would have. You would actually have a big main event that would be, that might actually draw a big number, might actually draw old ECW pay-per-view numbers, which, TNA can't even draw half of what ECW used to draw in pay-per-view numbers. That's sad and pathetic, folks. It really is. So I really don't get where these guys come from. I don't get their moronicism. Though these last two vids, I've seen people actually calling them on their BS, which is good and wonderful and means that maybe I don't have to keep doing vids about them. Because that's the only reason I do vids about them, unlike what a lot of people think, which is, oh, you just do vids to get subscribers. That's not why I do vids on them. I could care less about doing vids on them, to be completely honest. The reason I do vids on them is because no one calls them on their BS. And finally, people are starting to call them on their BS, and I am glad, I'm ecstatic, yay, yay, yay. But I did want to come on here and point out the fact that this was just amazing. I can't even get hyped up about it because it was just so stupid. The fact that they ripped into Matt Bentley the way they did, the fact that they don't understand what the WWE style is and has been that way for years upon years upon years, the fact that they don't understand that Joe should be the #1 guy over Angle, over Christian. The fact that, hell, I think Christopher Daniels should be one of the #1 guys over even Christian. Like I said, I don't think Christian is a legit main eventer. I've never felt that way. I don't understand why TNA spent the money they spent on him. I just don't get it. I've never understood it. And oh yeah, by the way, Bill and Doug, when Jerry Lynn rips apart TNA, which I think he will do, the first chance he gets, which I really do feel like he will do. Are you going to rip on him too? Because I would love to see you rip on Jerry Lynn, a guy who's basically left a company that he helped, pretty much make what it is. And the fact that, oh, and the other thing about Matt Bentley, one thing I loved about what Matt Bentley said, at no point did he bash on Russo. He put the complete blame on Dutch Mantell and on Jeff Jarrett, which definitely shows he wasn't just trying to pop out and make himself look good, because if that was the case, he just would have ripped on Vince Russo. But he ripped on Dutch Mantell, which I'm sure is why you got the little email, Bill and Doug, to rip on Matt Bentley. I'm out. This isn't a great vid, but hey.